Welcome back to Healthy Habit Fridays. It has been a minute since I've talked with y'all, and I'm going to be kind of reading off my computer down here, only because it's been a while and I want to stay on track. So I actually went back and checked. My last video was on April 19th, and today is June 22nd. So it's definitely been a while. It's been 2 months. Needless to say, I did not keep up with my vegan lifestyle from my previous video. Here's a snapshot. I have decided I'm just going to go ahead and move on off of all of the flesh from the earth, the air, the sea. The issue was that it felt too much like a fad to me, and I did enjoy the majority of it, but I did not feel like I was getting enough protein in my day. So I came back to eating meat. The majority of the meat I eat is chicken and fish anyway, sometimes a little bit of red meat thrown in. So anyway, that's beyond the point. It's, if you notice from the title of the video, this video is about 40 days of focus and reset. And actually, today is day 40. I've been a part of a group that has spent the last 40 days really focusing in on correcting our mindsets and honing in on what is holding us back mentally. So there are a couple of rules in the group: no drinking, no drugs, like non-prescription drugs. Keep up with your diet of choice. So everybody's different, so the leaders recognize that, and so whatever your diet of choice was, and also to journal. So when I started the challenge, I figured, this was going to be easy because I don't really drink. I don't do drugs. And this would be like really great for me to like get back into journaling. And if I really wanted to stick with the being vegan part of the lifestyle, then this would be like a really great opportunity to focus on that. So let's just say that I was a lot more reliant on that glass of wine than I thought I was. And I was definitely addicted to a drug called sugar. And I had no idea. So it only took me 1 week to figure out that I couldn't be vegan as well. And I had to do course correcting. In fact, the entire 40 days has been nothing but course correcting, like for 40 days. So let me just say that these 40 days, first off, have been less about food and actually less about like losing weight, but more about what was happening internally. So I began writing a lot, journaling. I started writing a book, just different things that I've been jotting down, and I just wrote like my life depended on it. It's a good thing I did. Week 1 was very rough for me. I wrote a little, but mostly I just cried. It was like all the stress that I had been masking with my evening glass of wine or two was just compounding and showing itself. I also had 2 deals fall through that same week. So let me just say that I didn't lose any weight that first week. Nothing. Like, not a single pound. Everybody else in the group came in the second meeting. They're like, oh, I'd lost this much weight. Oh, I lost that much weight. And I'm like, I didn't lose a pound. I didn't lose nothing. I didn't drop any weight. So I will say that on our first week, we met on day 1. Everyone but me cried. I did not cry. But on day 8, we came back together and I bawled like a baby. I finally got my breakdown, and a group of beautiful women who understood my frustration and my stress were just there to encourage me. It actually felt like Moses when he parted the Red Sea. Aaron and Hur came and held his arms up so that the sea would not fall back into itself. It was like that. It was huge. It was monumental. And I really felt like I could never have done it alone. So the weeks have passed since that first week, and I've had a really hard time with my food. To just be honest, I was trying to make it this thing, I think, that I was really just trying to figure out like what am I supposed to eat, what's safe, why am I not losing weight. I started the group off weighing 222 pounds, and after that second week, I did lose a couple pounds, but I kept going between 219 to 215 for several weeks, and it was just really frustrating. So the leaders of the group, Cindy and Tara, really encouraged us to use the buddy system, and I did not. I just felt like it was really unnecessary. I don't need a buddy. I didn't even know what I wanted. Like, who am I going to talk to about that? I'm like, I don't really know, because I don't know what I ate today. So I sat down and I wrote. I dug through my past memories hidden in my brain. I pulled out what I'd call poisonous plants by the root. And then I just finally faced myself. I told myself I needed accountability. So I called my best friend, Tara. She's also the leader for the group, one of the leaders. And the thing with Tara is that she never sugarcoats anything. So we never sugarcoat anything for each other. We're very abruptly honest with each other, and I just was honest. I straight out told her, like, I'm not eating well. I can't seem to kick sugar. I'm not losing weight. I need to do better. So she said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm really considering intermittent fasting. She's been intermittent fasting for a couple months now. And I asked her just to walk me through what a day in her life is like. So we spent the next 15 minutes on the phone. She walked me through. This was last Friday. It was Friday morning, so it was 1 week ago from today. And I weighed in that morning, and the scale said 219. I was frustrated. My body was in pain. I was swollen. I was done. So I told her, I want you to keep me accountable. So we agreed, it was her suggestion, that I text her when I eat my first meal, just to kind of, get in the routine of intermittent fasting, eating between 12 to 8, and then fasting the remaining hours of the day, which I told my husband, like, I'm sleeping for the majority of those hours, so it's not like it's a big deal, except for that first day it was a big deal because I was starving by 10, so I think I ate my first meal somewhere around 10:30, and I was like, okay. And then that night it was like, air conditioning's out, it's 80 degrees in this house, we're not eating at home, we're gonna go out. So I didn't finish eating until 8:30, mostly because of service and trying to get out there. And so the next day, Tara's advice was like, don't make it a big deal. If you have to adjust your hours the next day because of what happened the day before, life happens, just readjust your time. So I readjusted my time the next day. I ate, I think, at 2. I was hungry. This was on Saturday. I was hungry. I had a banana and a shake, and we were supposed to go do flags. Me and a group of ladies were supposed to go do flags at a church Saturday evening. I was running behind from an open house. We were supposed to be there at 4:30. It started at 6. 4:30, I suppose, was for prayer. I got there like right at 6. Or right before 6. It was like, I only had a few minutes to like really put my stuff down, gather my thoughts, pray with the group before we went out there, and then worship started. And so I went home first after the open house, and I'm like scarfing down rice and beans and making a peanut butter and banana sandwich to like throw in my purse. And I was like, I'll just eat the sandwich when I get done with worship. Thinking to myself, it is going to be after 8, but like I've been hungry all day, so I need to eat something tonight. Like I was making it more of a big deal, basically. So, long story short, I never ate it. Saturday night was what made me. It really was. I broke past a lot of junk in the middle of worship. We were all towards the back of the sanctuary with our flags, and I just freely gave in to worship. God spoke to me on such a different level that made me feel like this was it. This was the moment that I needed to straighten up my act. I left worship that night, and I was sweaty, smelly, my feet were black from dancing barefoot on the carpet, and more than that, I was free. And I can tell you that I could never have gotten to that moment and experienced all those wonderful moments in worship if I had not laid down the groundwork from the previous weeks. Just sitting down and being honest with myself, weeding through the lies that I've believed for so long, and facing myself and being honest with myself. Had I not done all of that, I would never have been open to facing, to really being free and open and hearing God in that way. So, Sunday morning I woke up and the fasting was easy. That was it. It was just easy. Some pangs of hunger, but I prayed through, and at 1 p.m. after we got done meeting with some folks and we were out and about, we stopped and we had soup. We had ramen at a new little spot out in Lynn Haven, and that was it until about 6 o'clock. We were at a family cookout, and I had dinner there, and I just had protein, a little carb, just kind of picked through what was the healthiest for me to eat. I had some fruit, and that was it. So this entire week has been clean. As far as eating, it's been clean eating. This has been probably the most sustainable thing I've ever done. I feel like I could honestly just do this for quite some time. And I don't know how long I will fast, to be honest with you. I'm trying just to be open to whatever God wants me to do. So this is where I am right now. I don't eat breakfast. My husband was laughing at me. He was saying, I basically do intermittent fasting because I never eat breakfast. I'm like, you forget to eat breakfast. Also, you snack most nights. So today is day 40. Our last meeting for the first group is going to be, the beta group is what we're calling the first group. It's going to be on Monday, this coming Monday. I've already committed to the second group. We had our meet and greet on the 13th, and I've already committed to being a part of that second group. And that meeting actually starts July 2nd, which is the following Monday. So I've decided I won't be taking a break in between. I'm just going to continue as if everything has been the same as it has been for the past 40 days. So, y'all are probably curious. I did weigh myself this morning. My weight is 213.6. I am officially down 8.4 pounds. And it seems to be steadily coming down. I know it'll plateau at some point, so I'm not too stressed about that. I've got my little thing up here. It's the goal that's set there. I have to put a goal in for this app, so I set it to like 199 to get down to 199. So the amount of days left on the goal is for that. Basically, it's got me like at 2 pounds a week. So that's fine. I know it's going to take me some time to get this weight off. It's like my big goal is to get down to 125. And I mean, I weigh 213. I have no visions of grandeur that this is going to take like a short amount of time, or it's going to take time. It's going to take time. This stuff was compounded on. I am recognizing that there was a lot of anger and fear and stress that compounded the weight on, and as those things and those emotions and those things that I've been holding on to begin to melt off, the weight will come off on its own. So I'm not too stressed over it. So sorry this has been such a long video, but there it is. Your 2-month catch up with me on this Healthy Habit Friday. If you're interested in watching any of the other Healthy Habit videos that I've made, click the link above. If you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, it's the link in my bio. If you are interested in more information on the 40 Days of Vertical Living, which is what we're calling the group from now on, feel free to send me a message and I'll connect you with the leaders for the group. Okay, bye guys.